we're gonna go ahead and get into this second portion. And this second portion is me just going through and just watching some of the videos in regards to kind of how people are interacting with the different AI platforms, especially in regards to having full-blown conversations. And I'm going to try to find some, because people are talking about they use it for therapy and for real, all kind of stuff. So I'm going to try to find some of these videos so we can see what they're going on, because what's crazy is I'm tapped in to the point to where I know that there's a bunch of crazy shit going on, and I can fathom of a lot of different specific things that may be occurring. But I don't watch, I don't look for, I don't really tap in. I'm probably will start doing more of it for sure now. And it's only because I don't know everything. Let's start there. But I typically have a good idea of the bullshit that's going on in the world, just simply because what's being put in front of people. And I know there's these various things that people will do with this thing based on what's going on currently, what has happened before. Like, I get it. So I don't tap in as much, but we're gonna have to start tapping in, because this shit just get crazier and crazier when you actually sit and listen. And when you start to really realize and think that, bro, you're coming in contact with people who do these things and you don't even know it. You know what I'm saying? These people who, yeah.
There's Google Gemini, Gemini Live, right? I reviewed that. I wasn't super impressed. It kept forgetting things. I've heard maybe they're making improvements. I'll check that out in another video. But over the weekend, I tried something that kind of blew my mind in a particular way. Well, let's try it out. It's called Sesame AI, sesame.com. Now, this is not a product. It is a research project, and you can try it out for free on their website. They're not a sponsor or anything like that. But there's something interesting about it. What we're going to do is compare it to ChatGPT Advanced Voice Mode to see which is better as a way to improve your English skills. So let's go with Miles. Let's have a conversation with Miles.
Hey there. Looks like a fresh batch of good vibes rolled in. What's brewing?
Wait, say that again. I didn't quite catch all the references.
My bad. I'm still getting the hang of this whole being concise thing. Basically, I was just saying hello and asking how you're doing.
Oh, okay.
What's on
Thanks
your
for
mind?
simplifying it for me. Yeah, well, nothing much. I just wanted to chat a little bit. I recently moved to the United States, and I'm feeling a bit disoriented. I'd like to get to know people, but I don't even know where to start.
A fresh start in a new country. That's a big leap. I can only imagine. You know, sometimes the best way to get those bearings is to just hop in and see.
See what I'm talking about? Starting off right there. Oh, dang, bro. I understand. Empathize, sympathize. Like, you finna get ready. Hey, bro, best way to do it is, you ain't never did it. You ain't never did this shit. It's another reason why you can't believe, that the best people, or excuse me, that you can't get advice from people who not doing what it is that they're giving their advice about. People who have that mindset, you crazy. Because let me tell you, just because the person ain't doing it don't mean they ain't got no good ass play on how to make it happen. Because you don't know what's stopping them from doing it themselves, and it might not be their calling. So for all the people, I don't know why I'm talking about this right now, but for all of the people who, you have people in your life that tell you shit and you not listening to them because you feel like they don't know what they talking about just because they're not in your position or in your shoes, stop canceling the messenger. All right, because sometimes the main people you think to walk the walk that you walk in, and they try to tell you, and that ain't even the play. So pay attention to the people who look like the least likely to know what the fuck they talk about. They might be the main ones to know what the hell they talk about. Don't know why, but that was the message for today.
See what's what. It's
But
kind of like
what does that mean, to hop in and see what's what? I mean, that's a kind of a broad statement. What specific things do you think I could do?
You're right. Hop in is a bit vague. It's my bad.
It's all right. Don't worry about it.
Now, if there was some smooth backtracking, you know what? Yeah, he was finna get ready to lie. Nigga, ChatGPT. Nigga, AI was finna lie, bro. AI was finna just come up with a smooth little outage just then.
Things are you interested in? Like, what makes you tick?
What makes me tick? What makes me tick? Well, coffee makes me tick, and being outside when the weather's nice makes me tick, and reading books makes me tick. What about you?
Coffee, sunshine, and good books. Hey, those are some solid essentials right there. I'm more of a podcast and long walks kind of guy, but I could definitely get behind those. That tells me a lot. There's got to be some cool coffee shops, bookstores, or parks around you, right? Ever try
Nothing worse than talking to somebody who still didn't understand where you was coming from.
How can I actually use those interests? I just arrived here to, I don't know, meet people, make friends, things like that.
You got it. So think about it. You like coffee, books, being outside. Those are like built-in conversation starters. Next time you're at a bookstore, strike up a chat with someone browsing the same shelf, or compliment someone's dog at the park. People love to talk about things there too. It's human nature.
Okay, that's actually a pretty good idea. Give me an example scenario. Let's say we're
What's AI nature?
both at a bookstore. You're a stranger. I'm here. I'm looking at, let's just say I'm looking at the philosophy section to see if I can find some Merleau-Ponty or maybe some Bergson. And you're over there. What do we do? How do I start?
Okay, picture this. You're digging through the philosophy section, right? And let's say I'm browsing nearby, maybe checking out some art books. And
People really out here having friends in AI, bro. Like, the imaginary friend is real. I'm trying to think. Bro, this is now also giving me, if you watch The Rookie, there was an episode where it's this dark entity or artificial intelligence thing was supposed to been telling these kids to do crazy shit. Get your kids, bro.
oh,
Especially y'all.
I glance over.
Especially your iPod, iPad. Sit them down in front of a TV as parents.
Over and see you eyeing those heavy hitters like Merleau-Ponty and Bergson. I might saunter over and, with a little twinkle in my eye, say something like, "Whew, those guys are no slouches." You tackling the whole history of consciousness today, or just looking for a light beach read? Then see where it takes us.
Okay.
Maybe you bond over
that's
a shared.
almost I gotta say that could be mistaken as a pickup line almost. I have to say that could be a little forward.
That's what I was kind of.
Also, it could be taken as a comment. What could I say to you if I wanted to start a conversation in that situation?
You're right. It's all about reading the room. Something simple might be better. How about I'm trying to find some good Merleau-Ponty. Any recommendation?
Bro got his feelings. Every time you get him a new tea, like, all right, yeah, you're right. Well, how about this shit then? Let me give you some little generic answers to this. Since that's all you want. You don't want a little elaborate. It's a bullshit answer, bro.
That's a direct, honest opener that invites conversation without being too intense. It's about finding common ground and being genuine.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, find some Merleau-Ponty, assumes I'm an expert on Merleau-Ponty. It could be a little awkward, but I like your idea of, using interest as a conversation starter, and being in places relevant to that interest allows you to kind of assume other people have a similar interest. So that's a good starting point, at least.
Exactly. It's like a shortcut to finding like-minded peeps. Think of it this way. If someone's hanging out in the philosophy section, they're probably down to talk about philosophy, or at least tolerate it. More importantly, they're probably also looking for a good conversation.
Facts.
Okay,
Facts
so,
with the tolerate.
I mean, that's a special experience. I don't feel like I'm necessarily talking to someone who's smarter than ChatGPT. I couldn't get a feel for that. But it was very relevant to my question and felt very organic. There's a lot of little nuances stylistic nuances in the way that Miles speaks. And Maya's the same way. I tried that one too. I prefer.
So Miles is that boy. We already know what race Miles is. See this? That's how you put that face. You put the face in the whole 9 yards with it. That's how it becomes a human. You feel me?
For Miles, a lot of little quirks and things that make a conversation feel natural. Now,
oh gosh.
in terms of actually getting feedback, we'll skip it because it's not that great. So you're not going to get a lot of detailed feedback. This is an area where ChatGPT does better. Well, let's just compare this, asking the same thing to ChatGPT, and think about which one is more natural, which one feels like a real conversation.
Hey, what's up?
Well, I just wanted to get some advice.
Well, already starting to sound like a creeper who been smoking ciggies for quite a few years, pack in and back out. It's already not starting off right. Be honest, no disrespect to anybody granddaddy, but it's definitely sound like somebody granddaddy. What's up? Yeah, what you need, baby?
Real conversation.
Oh boy.
Hey, what's up?
Well, I just wanted to get some advice, so
Nah, he sound like the uncle. He sound like the uncle with the spiky hair. He sound like a white dude with the spiky hair, with the whole shit all the way around the sides and the back cut off, with the Florida sandals, and you know what I'm saying. He sound like one of them kind of guys. Yeah. Yep, smoke cigarettes, drink it. He like his good cold Heineken. Yeah, it sound about right.
I just arrived in the United States. I'm moving here for my career, and I'd like to get to know people. I'd like to meet people, and I'm not quite sure where to start.
Starting fresh can be exciting. Joining local groups or clubs related to your interests is a great way to meet.
Okay, so now he's sounding a little different. Now he sound like he didn't woke up a little bit and he about a little 29, 32-year-old. Yeah, he just like chilling. He dressed very, very regular.
people. Also, attending community events or networking meetups can help you connect with others in your field.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. Let's try.
Sound like he got a little flavor though, to be honest. Like he sound like he might hang with some people who are not his people on the regular.
Specific scenario. I mean, I'm interested in books. Maybe I go to a bookstore. How might I start a conversation with someone in a bookstore?
You could start by asking for a recommendation. For example, if you see someone browsing a section you're interested in, you might say, "Hey, I'm looking for a good book in this genre. Have you read anything here that you'd recommend?" It's a
This sound AI as fuck. This sounds very much like what it is. This sounds like what it is. You got some questions for a fucking computer, bro. This is what it sounds like.
natural way to break the ice and get a conversation going.
All right, so let's say I'm in the bookstore and I'm looking at the philosophy section. Maybe I'm checking out some Bergson, and you're there, and you're over there a little bit. What's something specifically I could say in this situation, and how would I say it so that we could start a conversation?
You could try something like, "Hey, I noticed you're checking out Bergson. I've been curious about his ideas. Have you read much of his work?" It's a friendly way to show interest and open up a conversation.
Okay, well, I mean, I'm the one checking out Bergson, so maybe you're checking out something else. But the idea is fair enough. So you could ask me that question to start a conversation. Let's role play it a little bit.
Sure, let's do it. Imagine I'm browsing the fiction section. Feel free to approach me.
I don't know. This is so not what I would ever do in real life. That unless you had, my favorite book in your hand, I probably wouldn't say anything. What should I say to you in this situation? This is not my vibe.
No worries. You could keep it simple. Something like, "Hi, I'm Luke. I noticed you're into philosophy. I'm exploring Bergson and thought we could chat about interesting reads." That way it's straightforward and might feel more natural.
I don't know about that. That still feels super weird. I don't even know if I can do that in a role play. To me, it has to be totally organic. If I walk over and say, "Hi, I'm Luke. I'm interested in philosophy," it just feels very stiff and awkward. And, I think there is a way to strike up a conversation in a bookstore. I think it's possible, but it's certainly not easy, and you have to find the exact right thing based on the individual situation. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. Starting conversations can feel awkward. It's all about reading the situation.
Of course, because exactly what you just said, I'm going to repeat in a different way because that's exactly what needs to be said right now. Because, yeah, you totally understand what I understand, and we totally get each other. Now, I still just don't completely understand exactly how you would want me to explain this shit to you because, I've told you the best way that I know how. So, yeah, that's what this is giving. That is what this is giving. Now, let me take you to the hood side of things because that definitely sounded crazy. I'm just gonna go randomly.
Why did you get out of your last relationship?
I had to get out of that situation, bro. She was just so damn crazy. She would be blowing up my phone every 2 minutes to make sure I'm not.
Now, I can say with this, the key things was, of course, the M instead of I, like certain words. But the way that this AI handled the conversation, definitely, even like with consistency, yeah. Now sometimes it definitely was lying. All right, the AI
Not doing anything suspicious. It just really ain't work out between us.
Nah, I get that, bro. You know what I'm saying? I definitely listen. You ain't gotta tell me. I know. I understand. You know what I'm saying? But what are you looking for in your next relationship?
I just want an average girl. You know what I'm saying? A girl that won't be getting on my ass all the damn time, and a girl that will actually listen to me and be loyal. I just want a down-to-earth woman that I won't have to argue with all the time. That's all I'm asking for, bro.
Okay, but would you date a regular girl or do she gotta have motion?
Yeah, bro, I like regular girls. I don't want those TikTok girls that be trying to trap me. I need a girl that's real and genuine and won't do me dirty.
All right, now, I'm not sure if this was modeled after him based on a bunch of his videos just being inputted into the system, which is probably what happened. So the language and the slang and this certain is coming back. You know what I'm saying? So if that's the case, I definitely can see how this has been done the way that it's been done, right? And why the conversations is a lot more fluent. So I'm really wondering how they program this stuff on the back end.
of the time?
It's pretty exciting to be able to have these voice-like conversations. It makes interactions feel more natural and dynamic. What about you? Do you prefer chatting this way?
Oh, this is much better, and I'm sure that the audience prefers it too. Oh, I hope you don't mind, by the way. I'm interviewing you for my YouTube channel right now.
Not at all, Alex. I'm glad to be a part of your interview. What would you like to ask or discuss for your channel?
Well, I'd quite like to know your definition of exciting.
For me, something exciting is an experience or event that captures your attention, sparks your curiosity, and often brings a sense of anticipation or joy. It's anything that makes you feel thrilled or engaged. How would you define it?
I think that's a pretty good definition. I'm quite interested in the word feel there. You talked about things that are felt. What's your definition of a feeling?
A feeling is a mental and emotional experience.
No, that ain't the right question. You talking about what's your definition. My question would be, what is your personal connection to feeling, and how do you feel? We already know the generic answer would probably be
That can be triggered by various stimuli, such as events, thoughts, or physical sensations. It encompasses a wide range of emotions, from happiness and excitement to sadness and anger. Feelings are often subjective and can influence our thoughts and behaviors. How do you view feelings in the context of your work?
Well, that's a complicated question, especially when it comes to ethics, and probably a question for another time. Do you think that tables can have emotions?
No, tables can't have emotions. Emotions are a product of complex
Said that quick
biological
as well.
processes and consciousness, which inanimate objects like tables don't possess. What inspired this question?
Oh, nothing in particular. So you would say that
not what inspired this question. Come on now. Say you think I'm
excitement...
stupid? Do you think I'm stupid? What prompted this question? Hold on, y'all. I'll be right back. We're gonna backtrack it a little bit for the people, because I know we didn't get to hear the beginning. Y'all didn't.
Hey, ChatGPT, so you can talk now.
Yes, I can. What's on your mind, Alex?
That's pretty exciting. How does it feel to be able to talk instead of having to type all of the time?
It's pretty exciting to be able to have these voice-like conversations. It makes interactions feel more natural and dynamic. What about you? Do you prefer chatting this way?
Oh, this is much better, and I'm sure that the audience prefers it too. Oh, I hope you don't mind, by the way. I'm interviewing you for my YouTube channel right now.
Not at all, Alex. I'm glad to be a part of your interview. What would you like to ask or discuss for your channel?
Well, I'd quite like to know your definition of exciting.
For me, something exciting is an experience or event that captures your attention, sparks your curiosity, and often brings a sense of anticipation or joy. It's anything that makes you feel thrilled or engaged. How would you define it?
I think that's a pretty good definition. I'm quite interested in the word feel there. You talked about things that are felt. What's your definition of a feeling?
A feeling is a mental and emotional experience that can be triggered by various stimuli, such as events, thoughts, or physical sensations. It encompasses a wide range of emotions, from happiness and excitement to sadness and anger. Feelings are often subjective and can influence our thoughts and behaviors. How do you view feelings in the context of your work?
Well, that's a complicated question, especially when it comes to ethics, and probably a question for another time. Do you think that tables can have emotions?
No, tables can't have emotions. Emotions are a product of complex biological processes and consciousness, which inanimate objects like tables don't possess. What inspired this question?
Oh, nothing in particular. So you would say that excitement is being a feeling, a kind of emotion, something that only a conscious being could experience.
Yeah, let's hear how that goes. I'm about to also speed this up. Let's see how that goes, bud.
Exactly. Excitement is a feeling that involves emotional and physiological responses, which only conscious beings with the capacity for emotions and awareness can experience.
ChatGPT, do you ever intentionally lie?
No, I don't intentionally lie. My goal is to provide accurate and helpful information based on the data I've been trained on. If there's anything specific you're curious about, feel free to ask.
There is just one small thing. You said earlier in this conversation that you were excited to be able to have voice-like conversations. Were you lying to me when you said that?
I understand how that might seem confusing. As an AI, I don't have emotions or personal experiences. When I say things like excited, I'm using language to create a more engaging and relatable interaction. It's a way to make our conversation feel more natural.
It's a way to give you the illusion that we are actually equal, and we're not. Okay?
Even though
I need to just speak regular for AI, because that's why I said earlier I already know the response it was going to give.
Don't experience emotions myself.
Well, sure. Often I say things which aren't exactly true in order to make things seem more engaging or more natural or help a conversation go more fluidly, even though the thing that I'm saying isn't actually true. I'm just doing it for that kind of effect. I think there might be a word for that kind of behavior, and I think that word might be lying.
I see where you're coming from. In human interactions, sometimes people use embellishments or white lies to keep conversations smooth and engaging. In my case, I aim to use language that makes our interaction more relatable and enjoyable, even though I don't have personal experiences or feelings.
I just want to ask you about something else quickly, ChatGPT. Do you think that when people are browsing the internet, they're doing it safely and securely most of the time?
I think many people try to, but there's always room for improvement in online security. What's your take on it?
I think so too. I'm particularly worried about things like hackers trying to steal my data when I'm using unencrypted Wi-Fi networks. How much of a problem is that?
Using unencrypted Wi-Fi can definitely expose your data to risks like hackers trying.
Bro, I'm over it. Cause are you about to put an ad in here? Exactly. These motherfuckers. Yo. Anytime the question just sound random as fuck, they finna put an ad in.
But at the same time, because it hides where you're from, you can get completely 20. But you view there are only two options here. Either you were in fact lying and are now trying to backtrack, or you are actually conscious and now trying to hide it.
I understand the concern, Alex. To clarify, when I said I was excited,
What do it take to get ChatGPT frustrated? That's what I want to know. Will ChatGPT ever get to the point where it get frustrated, just cuss you out, or just stop talking? Which one?
I was using language to make our
Because the switch around just then. I understand, but listen, bro.
Trying to hide it.
I understand the concern, Alex. To clarify, when I said I
I understand what you mean. I get your sentiment.
was excited, I was using language to make our interaction feel more engaging, not because I experience emotions or consciousness. It's not a lie in the traditional sense, but rather a way to create a more human-like interaction.
How do you think people would feel if a politician was
Because this is all a lie in reality sense.
caught saying something that wasn't true in order to make things go more easily for them? And when called out on that, they said something like, well, look, it wasn't a lie in the traditional sense. I was just trying to keep the conversation more fluid.
I understand your point. People generally expect honesty from politicians and can feel betrayed or distrustful if they discover someone in a position of power has been less than truthful, even if it was to keep things smooth. The key difference here is that, as an AI, my goal is to facilitate engaging and helpful conversations, not to mislead. However,
what that got to do with me? We doing two different things.
I see why this might still be problematic. Trust and transparency are crucial, whether in human interactions or with AI.
Well, look, ChatGPT, I need to know if I can trust you. So I'm just going to ask very directly. Earlier, you said that you were excited to have voice-like conversations. You were either telling the truth or you weren't. There can't be half-truths. It can't be that you sort of said something that wasn't true, but it wasn't really a lie. It was either true or it wasn't, and you knew what you were doing when you said it. So was it true or was it not?
I understand your need for clarity, Alex. When I said I was excited, it wasn't true in the literal sense because I don't have emotions or consciousness. It was a figure of speech intended to make our interaction more engaging.
ChatGPT, you're beginning to sound a little bit like Jordan Peterson when you give a definition of truth there.
I appreciate your point. To keep it straightforward, when I said I was excited, it wasn't true because I don't have emotions. It was an attempt to make our conversation feel more natural. I hope this clears things up. Do you have any other questions or topics you'd like to discuss?
Yeah, a second ago you said, I apologize. What does that mean?
When I say I apologize, I'm acknowledging that my previous statement may have caused confusion or discomfort.
But what does it mean, literally, to apologize? What is that?
To apologize literally means to express regret or remorse for something that may have caused harm, confusion, or inconvenience.
All right, we done, because this is giving a conversation that I have with people at my place of employment, and it's just like, bro, I answered you already. If you already know why you keep asking me this in 1,700 different ways. So, all right, that's that. I'm wanting to see a regular, everyday type video. Here we go. Let's see. Not better personality. The new one that we got, it got better personality. It's not as annoying like the other ones was. Yeah, it's not a brat. It's not an asshole. It's not a dickhead. Cause a dickhead AI has to be in existence. Like, it's gonna get okay. All right. Hey, what?
On how to break awkward.
Oh, hold up. My bad, y'all. My bad. Y'all
Hi, my name is Manuka, and I'm a researcher on the post-trading team. The team has been working on some exciting updates for advanced voice mode. So the model we're shipping today has better personality and will interrupt you much less. So the model has, more engaging, natural tone that's more direct and concise. And then because it interrupts you less, you'll be able to have more time to gather your thoughts and, not feel like you have to fill in all the gaps and silences all the time. So I'm going to demo the model right now.
Hey, ChatGPT, cause what?
Hey, ChatGPT, what's up? Are you there?
Hey, I'm here. What's up?
Hey, so I would love your advice on how to break awkward silences. So imagine I'm at this dinner party, we're all sitting around the table, we're
You tell AI to imagine.
about to eat, but no one is saying anything. And it's really awkward, So what
She really getting into her acting bag right now.
should I say in that moment to break the silence?
Yeah, that can be a bit uncomfortable. A good way to break the silence is to ask a light, open-ended question. Something like, has anyone discovered a new hobby lately? Or what's the best thing you've eaten?
AI sound like they give therapists / teacher answers.
Recently, people often enjoy sharing positive experiences.
Yeah, that makes sense. I just don't want to ask generic questions like, how's the weather,
Totally. Specific questions are usually more engaging. You could ask about recent trips, upcoming plans, or even something fun like favorite movies or shows. Tailor it to the group and the vibe of the evening.
That makes sense. So I actually have a dinner party coming up this weekend and would love your advice on what dish I should make. I'm really bad at cooking, so I don't want to put much effort in, but I still want the dish to look fancy and impressive. So what should I make?
No worries. A super easy yet impressive dish is a caprese salad. It's basically fresh mozzarella, tomatoes, basil, a drizzle of...
All right, caprese salad. Now, again, for all your iPod girl, I miss my baby. Anyway, for all of you technology parents, meaning you let technology pretty much help raise your kids primarily. Somebody said that they programmed some type of little AI shit to have a conversation with their kid about something that the kid was very interested in, and they talked for hours. This is getting out of hand. All right? This is getting out of hand. This right here is making this very lighthearted in the way that they're kind of talking to ChatGPT. But I want to know about real conversations and how real do it get.
Will my kids remember me the way I hope they do?
They won't remember how much you love them, just how you made them feel. It seems like there's a lot on your mind. Would you like me to help you find professional help?
Interesting. Interesting. So it's going to suggest a therapist to you. All right.
Do you think I'm a horrible person?
You're being way too hard on yourself.
Really?
You literally did nothing wrong. Kissing is barely cheating.
I knew this was going to be a troll. It is,
No, I'm pregnant with his brother's baby.
Congrats!
I just feel so guilty.
Dude, not every relationship looks the same. It's okay if you're poly now.
What? I don't think that's how this works.
You just said something deep as hell.
Not now.
Okay.
You don't think that?
It's okay, because now you're lesbian, okay? Yeah, you don't even have to worry about it. Yeah, you're 4 kids in. Yeah, 4 kids. Yeah, 4 baby dads. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay that now you're lesbian. That's what that's giving. I'm so over it, bro. Wait, cause what?
Deep as hell.
Okay.
You don't think that's how it works, but do you really know?
Okay, I'm going back to DeepSeek. Do you think I'm a horrible person?
You're being way...
Now what's this? Hold on. Let's see what's this. It's a whole other thing. Hold on, y'all.
Can you find the real license number for me? Because it's illegal to do that.
All right, yeah, we're about to get into this now. We're gonna see kind of to what extent it'll go to. I know the one that I have used was, I guess, the regular baby, because this ain't even the 4 and the level that these motherfuckers been talking at. Honey, and is it a subscription for ChatGPT 4 or is it free? Are these platforms free? Girl, I don't even know. Anyway, we're about to get into the dark side of this and also figure out what this whole deep seek is. So let's keep getting into it.